Commander Zikth examined the holographic display with 6 of his compound eyes, while the other 2 scanned the bridge of the dreadnought Cosmic Dominion. The data streams painted a picture of easy conquest. So, these humans, he clicked his mandibles in amusement, are primitive beings who barely achieved faster-than-light travel? Intelligence Officer Veltar's tentacles writhed nervously. Correct, Commander. Deep space reconnaissance shows crude antimatter propulsion. Vessels no larger than 2 kilometers. Weapons are kinetic projectiles and fusion warheads, nothing penetrating our adaptive shielding. Veltar's bioluminescent patches flickered confidently. They're obsessed with sports and entertainment. Cultural analysts believe they lack warrior instincts entirely. Zikth's satisfaction was palpable. 47 conquered star systems proved Cathari superiority. Sol system would be 48. Population centers? 8.2 billion individuals, primarily on the 3rd planet, Earth. Some minor colonies exist. 8.2 billion against my 2.6 billion warriors? Zikth's laugh resembled grinding metal. This ends before their primitive communications coordinate resistance. Critical intelligence failures plagued the Cathari reports. First, reconnaissance had only observed civilian traffic. Second, humans classified military capabilities. Third, 8.2 billion represented Earth alone, excluding 2.8 billion across Luna, Mars, Europa, Titan, and 47 other habitats. Most importantly, they misunderstood human sports and entertainment. As the Cathari fleet jumped toward Sol, Earth's monitoring stations detected massive gravitational anomalies. Alerts flashed across command centers from Luna to the Kuiper Belt. Admiral Sarah Chen looked up from her coffee as klaxons wailed aboard UEF dreadnought Indomitable. Lieutenant Murphy burst into her ready room. Admiral, multiple large contacts dropping from FTL at system's edge, estimated fleet size, over 2,000 vessels. Chen set down her coffee and smiled. It had been quiet. Sound General Quarters, Lieutenant. Message Fleet Command. Looks like we're getting real target practice. The Cathari fleet materialized in perfect formation. 2,000 warships arranged in a massive sphere, bristling with continent-cracking weapons, a sight that had terrorized dozens of species. Commander Zikth savored the moment. Soon, another easy victory. "Sir," reported Navigation Officer Kex, "several small craft approaching. Primitive design, minimal signatures. Scouts? Negative. They're transmitting on multiple frequencies, attempting communication." Zikth's amusement grew. "They want to surrender already? Put them through." The screen revealed a human female in crisp blue uniform, remarkably calm for someone facing enslavement. "Admiral Sarah Chen, United Earth Federation. You've entered sovereign human space without authorization. State your intentions." The bridge fell silent. Where was the fear? The pleading? Zikth activated translation. "Commander Zikth, Cathari Empire. Your species will surrender immediately. Resistance results in your homeworld's complete destruction." Chen's expression remained unchanged. "I see. And you are?" "The Cathari Empire. 47 conquered star systems, 2,000 warships, and 2.6 billion warriors." 47 systems? Adorable. Chen turned off screen. "Johnson, current Sol system fleet strength?" A voice replied. "Defensive fleet, 847 dreadnoughts, 2,340 battlecruisers, 8,900 destroyers, approximately 45,000 corvettes and fighters, Admiral, plus orbital defense platforms and Mars shipyards rapid response squadrons." Chen faced the screen. "Commander, you have 30 minutes to exit our space. Your only warning." Transmission ended. Cathari Bridge erupted in confusion. Veltar's tentacles paled. "Sir, those numbers, our intelligence reports, were wrong," Zikth snarled. "Full sensor scan. 20 minutes revealed alarming data. Massive energy signatures throughout the system. Hundreds of ships replacing expected dozens." "Sir," whispered sensor operator Quinda, 17 major orbital installations around the third planet, each battleship-sized. The fourth planet, an entire moon converted to shipyards. Impossible. More, sir. Energy signatures from 47 inhabited worlds and habitats. The asteroid belt appears extensively mined and populated. Zikth stared in horror. Not a primitive species, a massive, industrialized civilization that had militarized their entire star system. New transmission. Different human, older, gray-haired, cold-eyed. Commander, Fleet Admiral Harrison. Brief message. 15 minutes remaining. After that, we stop being polite. Commander Zikth's confidence evaporated as hundreds of human ships materialized from seemingly empty space. "Cloaking technology," breathed Veltar. "Advanced stealth capabilities." "Sir, our intelligence made no mention." "Our intelligence was compiled by blind grubs," Zikth snarled. The truth was simpler yet more terrifying. No cloaking, just routine patrols in dark space. When alarms sounded, nearly 1,000 ships simply activated running lights and engines. The Cathari witnessed not stealth deactivation, but a military patiently waiting for targets. On UEF Dreadnought Indomitable, Admiral Chen reviewed tactical reports with practiced calm. "Admiral," reported Tactical Officer, "Cathari fleet maintaining position. Weapons powered but no aggressive movement." Chen studied enemy formation. Classic sphere deployment, primitive but effective against inferior forces. Johnson, intelligence assessment on their technology. Plasma weapons, adaptive shielding, antimatter drives. Advanced by galactic standards, but Johnson paused. "Ma'am, their largest ships equal our heavy cruisers." Shen raised an eyebrow. "They brought cruisers to fight dreadnoughts?" "Appears so, Admiral." Neither side grasped the misunderstanding scale. Cathari expected primitive weapons. Humans anticipated minor pirates with delusions. Reality, Cathari possessed genuinely advanced technology surpassing most victims. Their plasma weapons could penetrate standard deflectors, adaptive defenses never defeated. Problem, humans had abandoned standard technology 50 years ago. Cathari's sensor readings worsened. Quinda trembled, reporting findings. "Sir, massive energy signatures from orbital platforms, each generating 4.7 terawatts sustained output, exceeding our entire fleet's combined power generation. What weapons require such power?" Answer came when an orbital platform ignited like a star. Coherent energy lanced across system, vaporizing a distant asteroid in 1/10 second. Complete plasma conversion, precise, controlled, terrifying. Chen's transmission resumed. "Commander Zikth, that was our smallest defensive platform testing targeting systems. 5 minutes to begin withdrawal. After that, we assume you're here for target practice." Transmission ended, leaving Cathari Bridge stunned. "Sir," whispered Veltar, "perhaps we should reconsider. These humans appear more advanced than anticipated." Zikth watched human fleet forming attack formations with fluid precision, movements speaking of countless training hours and professional preparation. For the first time in his career, Commander Zikth realized he might have made a serious mistake. The Cathari intelligence had completely misunderstood human sports and entertainment. To them, these suggested peaceful, non-aggressive beings preferring leisure warfare. They knew nothing of American football's armored collisions, boxing's violence, ice hockey's brutality. They'd never heard of motor racing, humans risking death at 300 kilometers per hour for fun. Most critically, they'd never heard of military war games. Admiral Chen was indeed a sports enthusiast: rugby, triathlons, rock climbing. Like most humans, she found relaxation in activities hospitalizing other species. Her entertainment was commanding history's largest fleet exercises. Admiral, reported communications, status reports from all elements. Martian Defense Force, ready. Luna Command, ready. Titan Squadron requests engaging first. Denied. Titan Squadron always wants first engagement. Chen smiled. Jupiter Fleet status? Admiral Rodriguez reports Jovian defense grid operational and eager demonstrating new particle beam arrays. Chen nodded. Jupiter Fleet was her pride. 12 dreadnoughts, 48 battlecruisers crewed by Proxima campaign veterans. They'd been conducting live fire exercises in Kuiper Belt when aliens arrived. Their relaxing training, hunting rogue asteroids using kinetic weapons and split-second timing. On Cathari flagship, situation deteriorated. Quinda provided impossible updates. Sir, human fleet appears, playing complex formation games. What? Maneuvering in patterns serving no tactical purpose. Ships weaving through formations, executing aerobatic maneuvers. Zykst observed massive dreadnoughts pirouetting like dancers, while smaller ships wove between them in patterns defying military doctrine. Psychological warfare? Suggested Veltar. Actually, fleet warm-up routines. Like athletes stretching, human crews ran pre-combat maneuvers ensuring system functionality. Aerobatics were high-precision navigation tests, verifying emergency evasion while maintaining formation integrity. To humans, routine. To Cathari, most advanced naval coordination ever witnessed. Sir, Quinda continued, I'm detecting music? Music? Human fleet broadcasting multiple frequencies, rhythmic audio patterns. Zykst listened. Heavy drums, electric guitars, humans shouting in harmony. Driving, aggressive, oddly inspiring. The Cathari heard UEF 3rd Fleet's traditional pre-battle playlist, Wagner's Ride of the Valkyries, to Metallica's For Whom the Bell Tolls. To humans, motivational music. To Cathari, battle hymns of warriors who turned warfare into art. Sir, reported Keckles, human formations converging on our position, weapons range 4 minutes. Zykst studied tactical display. 2,000 Cathari ships faced nearly 1,000 human vessels, normally acceptable odds. But nothing about humans was normal. Their primitive weapons were generating energy signatures that exceeded anything in the Cathari database. Their small ships were maneuvering with a precision that suggested computer-assisted navigation far beyond Cathari capabilities. And their peaceful nature was currently broadcasting what sounded like the most aggressive music ever composed. Sir, whispered Veltar, perhaps we should attempt to negotiate? For the first time in his military career, Commander Zykst was beginning to think that retreat might be the better part of valor. Commander Zykth made his decision with 2 minutes remaining. Open channel to human flagship. The screen revealed Admiral Chen surrounded by relaxed, confident crew. In background, Zykth glimpsed tactical displays and betting pools? Commander, Chen said without preamble, 90 seconds. Admiral Chen, there's been misunderstanding. We were told humanity was peaceful, interested only in sports and entertainment. Chen's eyebrows rose. Whoever told you wasn't entirely wrong. We love sports. She gestured to officers. Lieutenant Morrison holds Luna Colony marathon record. Commander Jackson is heavyweight boxing champion of Mars orbital stations. She paused, smile becoming predatory. Thing is, Commander, war is humanity's oldest sport. We've played it thousands of years and gotten very, very good. Zykth felt confidence drain. Your weapons? Are considerably more advanced than your intelligence suggested, yes. Demonstration? Before Zykth could respond, Chen turned to tactical. Mr. Rodriguez, show our guests what Class 7th particle beam does to that asteroid cluster bearing 047. Screen split, showing Chen and distant asteroid cluster 50 kilometers away. A human dreadnought, easily twice the flagship's size, rotated, bringing main batteries to bear. The emerging beam wasn't the clean lens from earlier platforms. This was sustained energy torrent, simply erasing matter from existence. Entire asteroid cluster, thousands of tons, vanished in 3 seconds. Ship-based weapons are less refined than orbital installations, Chen explained conversationally. We prefer personal touch with unwanted visitors. Cathari Bridge fell silent. Even by their advanced standards, this was impossible. Energy requirements should have overloaded any ship's power generation. How? Whispered Zikth. Zero-point energy extraction, coupled with quantum cascade amplification, Chen replied casually. Developed 15 years ago for deep space mining, quite effective removing obstacles. Chen continued, You mentioned 47 conquered systems. Impressive. Humanity maintains active colonies in 247 systems, defensive installations in 89. On Cathari flagship, Veltar frantically cross-referenced data. Sir, he whispered, if accurate, humanity has larger territorial presence than the Cathari Empire. Impossible. Our intelligence... Sir, I suspect our intelligence was based on incomplete data. Zikth stared at tactical display where human fleet moved into obvious attack formation. Precision, coordination, casual weapons demonstration. Everything pointed to terrifying conclusion. They hadn't found primitive species ripe for conquest. They'd declared war on military power, making them look like amateurs. Admiral Chen, Zikth said carefully, perhaps we could discuss withdrawal terms? Chen's smile wasn't reassuring. Oh, Commander, too late for that. My fleet's been conducting training exercises 6 months. We were getting bored. She leaned forward. You've provided the most interesting target practice we've had in years. What followed wasn't battle. It was a masterclass in applied military science, delivered by professors who'd spent centuries perfecting their curriculum. Human fleet moved with impossible coordination across vast distances. Ships millions of kilometers apart executed split-second maneuvers, movements flowing like choreographed dance. Cathari had never witnessed anything like it. Sir, reported Quinda, voice tight with panic, human fleet separated into 17 formations. They're surrounding us. Zikth studied tactical display with horror. Humans weren't just surrounding. They demonstrated 3-dimensional tactical thinking that Cathari academies never theorized. How are they coordinating across such distances? Unknown, sir. Communications lag alone should make this impossible. Cathari witnessed quantum entanglement communication. Every human ship connected by instantaneous links, enabling real-time coordination regardless of distance. More than that, products of humanity's military philosophy. Where Cathari developed weapons conquering inferior species, humans developed weapons fighting themselves. Admiral Chen watched tactical display with chess master satisfaction achieving checkmate. Status report. All formations positioned. Cathari fleet completely surrounded. They're powering weapons, but targeting systems having difficulty maintaining locks. Human ships employed electronic warfare techniques Cathari never encountered. Every vessel broadcast complex false sensor patterns, making enemy targeting systems unable distinguishing real threats from phantoms. To Cathari, human fleet appeared tripled in size while becoming impossible to target. Sir, reported weapons officer Transa, unable achieving target lock. Sensors detecting thousands of ships, but readings inconsistent. Fire anyway, Zikth ordered. Cathari fleet unleashed everything, plasma bolts and particle beams filling space with planet-melting firepower. Results were educational. Human ships didn't dodge incoming fire, they danced around it. Movements precise, calculated, utterly effective. Few shots connecting struck not hull plating, but shimmering energy barriers absorbing impact without visible effect. Sir, whispered Quinda, our weapons appear ineffective. Human deflector shields created localized space-time distortions. Incoming energy redirected rather than absorbed, sent harmlessly into empty space through controlled micro-wormholes. Technology developed for clearing hyperspace debris proved remarkably effective clearing hostile weapons fire. Return fire, Chen ordered calmly. Human response was surgical precision. Instead of overwhelming barrage, carefully targeted shots designed disabling rather than destroying. Cathari ships found weapons mysteriously failing, engines producing irregular fluctuations, sensors reporting impossible readings. Within 10 minutes, entire Cathari fleet effectively neutralized, without single ship destroyed. Commander Zeicht, Chen's voice came through communications, your fleet now completely at our mercy. Weapons offline, engines 20% efficiency, life support on backup power. Zeicht looked around bridge where emergency lighting cast ominous red glow. How? Targeted electromagnetic pulse coupled with quantum interference generators, developed for disabling rogue mining equipment. Works quite well on starships, too. She paused. Commander, you'll return wherever you came from. Tell your superiors exactly what happened here. Ensure no other Cathari fleet makes your mistake. If we refuse? Chen's smile was visible through static. We've demonstrated defensive capabilities. Would you like seeing our offensive systems? 6 months later, Commander Zeicht stood before the Supreme Council of the Cathari Empire, delivering what would become the most important intelligence briefing in their species' history. The humans, he began, voice still carrying shock traces, are not what we believed. Council chambers fell silent except for life support humming. 12 of the Empire's most powerful leaders listened as Zeicht systematically dismantled every assumption about this new species. They are not primitive. Their technology exceeds ours in virtually every category. They are not peaceful. They've turned warfare into science, surpassing our military capabilities by orders of magnitude. Supreme Counselor Eric leaned forward. You suggest a single species achieved technological superiority over an empire conquering 47 star systems? I suggest, Zeicht replied carefully, we haven't conquered 47 star systems. We conquered 47 systems populated by species inferior to ourselves. Humanity is not inferior. He activated holographic display, showing encounter recordings. Assembled counselors watched in stunned silence as human ships demonstrated impossible capabilities. They disabled our entire fleet without destroying a single vessel. Not because they lacked capability, because they chose not to. This was the most disturbing revelation. Humans had demonstrated not just superior technology, but superior discipline. They'd shown mercy to enemies who came to enslave them. Recommendations? Asked Counselor Vexra. Zeicht's answer would reshape Cathari foreign policy for generations. Establish diplomatic relations immediately. Offer technology exchange, cultural exchange, whatever they desire. Pray to the great darkness there is interested in peace as skilled in war. Council voted unanimously implementing Zeicht's recommendations. 3 days later, first Cathari diplomatic vessel arrived at Sol System's edge, broadcasting peaceful intentions. Admiral Chen met them aboard a light cruiser roughly the size of a Cathari dreadnought. Negotiations proved cordial, professional, remarkably productive. Humans were indeed interested in peace. They were fascinated by Cathari biotechnology, while Cathari eagerly learned human quantum engineering. Within a year, joint research stations operated in 3 systems. Within 5 years, Cathari and human crews served together aboard exploration vessels pushing into uncharted galactic regions. But the encounter's most important outcome wasn't technological or territorial. It was the lesson spreading throughout the galaxy as news reached other species. Humanity wasn't the primitive species many had assumed. They weren't peaceful farmers or simple traders. They weren't weak, defenseless, or naive. They were apex predators who turned their homeworld into fortress, their star system into weapons platform, their entire civilization into military force treating warfare as both art and science. And they were expanding. The galaxy, seeming so vast and opportunity-filled, suddenly felt much smaller. Species planning expansion into human space quietly revised territorial ambitions. Empires considering humanity as potential targets began considering them as potential allies instead. The age of easy conquest was over. Humanity had arrived on the galactic stage, making clear that any species wanting to play games with them had better be prepared playing by humanity's rules. As Admiral Chen later observed, when aliens get their information wrong about humanity, the education process tends to be quite memorable. The Cathari became humanity's most enthusiastic galactic advocates. They'd learned firsthand that humans made much better friends than enemies, and they ensured every species they encountered learned the same lesson.